Everybody, peace and blessings to you. I hope this video meets you well. I'm recording on Friday, February 14th, 2025. It's Valentine's Day. By the time this video is posted, I don't know, it could be 2 days past Valentine's Day. It could be 1 day past Valentine's Day. It could be, I don't know. I don't know when this is going to be posted. But I'm recording because I just want to share this moment with you, even if I'm going to be sharing this moment with you later. I want to share some positive thoughts, some blessings. I want to share the space that I'm in. Now, first thing that I want you to know is that I am well aware of how bad things are. I'm well aware of the dangers that we're in. I'm well aware of, I'm well aware of what's happening. I haven't really read anything or been on any social media platform to update myself on anything new. I saw the headlines of things that pop up on my phone. I didn't click into anything because I am absolutely well aware of the fight that we're in. I'm well aware of what we're fighting against. I'm well aware of what kind of battle this is. I think that a lot of people aren't. I think that a lot of people aren't aware. And, I had a conversation with my mom this morning. And, I was talking to her and I said, look, I am just waiting for people to catch up. I'm waiting for people to catch up to where I've been at for a long time. I am an INFJ empath. I am an intuitive. And I've been aware of what's been going on for months. I understand what kind of battle this is. I understand what we're up against. I understand the dangers and the risk. And what I don't know, what I really don't know is how are we gonna win? How are we gonna defeat the what we're up against? I really don't know, because I believe that to defeat what we're up against, first people have to know what kind of battle we're fighting. We are not just fighting a battle in the flesh. It is not just a battle between flesh and blood. This is a spiritual battle. And the sooner that people start to come to that realization that this is a spiritual battle, the better it will be for us, and the higher the probability and the possibility will be that we defeat what we're up against, that we defeat the enemy. Once people start to realize, that this is a battle between darkness and light, and truth and lies, and what is good about humanity, and what is good about this world, and what is good about this planet, and what isn't. Dark energy and negative and dark energy versus light energy, right? And just understanding what we're up against, it will make a whole heck of a difference, And I've been saying since election night. I've been saying since 2 days after the election night, when I really started to feel activated, and I started to understand almost really quickly. It only took me 2 days. I had 1 day to grieve, the next day to process, and by the nighttime, I knew I was activated. I knew what I needed to do and what I was. I knew that I was meant to hold the light. I knew that I was a light worker. I knew that I had to I had to fight this battle in a different way. I started to see what was happening, and I saw how quickly it was happening. And then I saw willful blindness, and I saw compliance, in the weirdest, from the weirdest places, like compliance from people that were supposed to be in this fight with us, you know. And I saw things that made me like really question, like what, like question, like what is going on, you know. Where are the fighters? Where are the fighters that are supposed to be on our side? What I saw people, I started to realize that people weren't seeing what they need to be seeing, you know, and they weren't fighting in the way they were supposed to be fighting, that we needed to be fighting. They weren't fighting the battle in the way that we needed to be fighting the battle. And I also saw that it got even harder for me to communicate with people. It got even harder for me to reach, like, I felt like I was being blocked and people weren't seeing me, and even more people weren't seeing me than before. I wasn't reaching people. And I realized I had to do things differently. I had to shift, I had to move, I had to change, I had to do things differently, you know. And it's been a heck of a 2 months for me. I don't even know if it's 2 months. Gosh, time is just, yeah. It's been a heck of a 2-3 months, however long this whole thing, has been going on for. And I have been carrying an energy, a painful energy. I've had my good days and my bad days, and I've been carrying a painful energy in my body on and off for almost 3 months. But, throughout the whole process, I've realized that I've been being prepared. I realized that my spiritual guides, or the universe, or God, or whichever, the higher power, the divine, however you source, whatever you call, whatever you know it as, my protector, my protector, my guides, I realized that they were training me. I was being trained to handle what's to come. I was being trained because they know that it's gonna get darker and harder and crazier, and in order for me to survive, I'm gonna have to keep calm. I'm gonna have to hold the light. I'm gonna have to think straight. I'm gonna have to believe. I'm gonna have to trust. I'm gonna have to be patient. I'm gonna have to get through it and survive it. And I'm gonna have to also help others to do that. Get through it and survive it. And, so I had to go through a process. I had to go through a process of hard, like some really heavy, dense, energetic days, where during those times I would lean in, I would feel the negative, and I would say negative things, and it would be so hard, and I just couldn't recover from that heaviness and that feeling that was painful in my body. I couldn't recover from it until the following day. And what I found is that every single time I had a day like that, where the energy was so intense and painful that I couldn't even function, the next day would be the opposite. The next day I would feel light. The next day I would feel like I could do it again. I could fight again. I could live again. And usually the next day would be one of my best days. And it just kept going on like that. These heavy days, and then a great day. And these heavy days, these days where I can't handle it. I can't deal with the news. I can't function. And then the days where I'm not triggered anymore. And I realized that the more that I went through it, the more I experienced it, the more I realized I could get through it, the more I realized the pattern, the less effect those kind of days had on me. Because today was probably supposed to be one of those days. Today was one of those days where I felt the energy in my body again. because there's a lot of bad stuff happening. The bad stuff has not stopped happening since it started. It hasn't stopped. It has continued and continued, and it got worse and worse, and it keeps getting worse. And honestly, I truly feel, and I said this to my mother this morning, I truly feel as though we're not going to defeat what we're up against until enough people turn on their lights. And by turn on their lights, I'm talking about the lights inside their soul. They have to start listening to their intuition. I told my mom that they have to tap into the spiritual parts of themselves. Whatever their spiritual connections are, they have to tap into that. They could call their higher power, the spirit, they could call it whatever they like. Your intuition, your soul, your spirit, the divine, your angels, your guardian angels, your spirit animal, your whatever it is, the spiritual light inside your soul. You have to tap into that. Everybody has to tap into it. Everybody has to start spending time with themselves and processing and probably meditating and breathing and taking care of themselves and starting to read books that would help, not just the books that would help in the way that like that teach you about authoritarian government, authoritarianism and fascism, and not only those books, not only the educational books that would help in a moment like this, but also books that will feed your soul. You need to have both. Spend time reading, gardening, doing the things that bring you joy, knitting. I just watched a YouTube video from a creator. I think is I don't have the name in front of me, so I might call it wrong, but Parker Permaculture, I'm guessing. I feel like that's the name of it. And she was talking about the fact that people were mad because, AOC was doing while discussing the fight, and telling people what was happening, she was also knitting, and some people were mad about it. And, I think that's crazy because if the most and the creator that made the video, she was saying, if I see another person, com- complaining about that, I'm gonna scream. I don't know what she said. I can't remember the exact words, or something like that. And she was, she said that knitting is a form of defiance, and I'm gonna say joy is a form of defiance. Leaning into the light and leaning into the positive and not fear, leaning into faith, leaning in to everything that is pure and lovely, that brings you joy. And it is so easy. It is so easy to do. The sky is free. You look at the sky, the trees are free. Go into nature and just, the birds are there, the trees are there, Mother Nature is there. She is not gone anywhere, and that is something that brings you joy. Your hobbies, reading and a cup of tea, anything that brings you joy, anything that brings you peace, it is defiance. It is going to make you a better warrior, because the first thing you need in this battle is the light in your soul. You need to turn on your light. You need to turn on your light. And I had said this in a previous video that I just recently posted. I know my videos are long and it requires some patience, but there's always gems in it. I promise you that you're going to always find a gem in it that you wouldn't get anywhere else, because there's only one me. And I'm not going to try to change in terms of, making the videos shorter or whatever. I will, because I feel like that's my process. That's actually how the gems come out. I have to talk for them to come out. But what I would do sometimes is I would try to cut them in shorts when I can. cut them in shorts when I can, so maybe that you might see a short. But in the previous video, in the video that I recently posted, I talked about how the Grinch stole Christmas. This was a thought that came to me. How the Grinch stole Christmas. Because again, this is also a part of my process. I make connections through movies and stories and quotes, and any piece of wisdom, any piece of knowledge and wisdom that comes from anywhere, I collect them. Like I said this in a previous video as well. I collect them, I put them in my soul, and I bring them back out when they're needed. I use them when they're needed. So I was thinking about how the Grinch stole Christmas, and I was thinking about how the Grinch stole everything. He didn't even like leave a crumb for a mouse, according to the story. And yet still on Christmas Day, after all their things were stolen from them, everything, every special thing, the Christmas tree, the Christmas meal, like everything, all the good stuff was stolen from them. The Grinch was extremely baffled and confused that on Christmas morning, instead of wailing and crying, he heard singing. And then when he went to see what was going on, what is that about? All the Who's in Whoville was singing, and they were gathering in the town square, holding each other and in community and singing. And I feel like that is an act of defiance. That is your way of saying, you can steal all my stuff, but you cannot steal my soul. And this is why I say, turn on your light. If you still have your soul, if you have not let them devour your soul and you still got it, then please turn on your light. And you turn it on through joy. You turn it on through love. You turn it on through focusing on what is pure and what is lovely. And I want to show you some stuff. So I got some new things. And I have this on my desk. I just recently got this. And I put it on my desk. And this is Mother Earth, birthing the new earth. The moon and the sun, the ocean and the land, right? And this is, Mother Earth birthing a new planet, a new earth. And then, that when I say that I'm a new earth messenger, I'm talking about the vision, the new earth vision, as opposed to the new world order vision, which is a biblical vision of how everything is just going to be horrible, as far as I know. Because I don't know all that stuff anymore. I just know what I learned as I was, what I heard in my younger days in New World Order, and the things that it scared me about the future, and how it's going to be. And I haven't read Revelations. I may not read Revelations, but I heard somebody say that this Revelation said that we were going to have all these things were supposed to happen. I don't know what that means. I don't know what what Revelation says. I just know that I believe in the new earth vision. The vision in which we as human beings evolve. We learn to live. We learn to live in balance and harmony with the planet. And we learn, even if we're going to get to keep the technology, we learn to, let me show you the back, just for the fun of it. And this is on my desk, and I can tell you about this in a minute, but even though we get to keep the technology in which we use to communicate, we don't use it well, a lot of us, because we have to have balance. We cannot use it in the way we used to use it. We cannot use it in the way these corporate nerds, these tech people like Mark Z, was creating this world in which we use it. We can't use it chasing after likes and validation and doom scrolling. We can't use it in that way anymore. We got to use it to create positive change in the world, to use it as a tool, use it as a tool of communication and love, use it as a tool of healing, use it as a tool of learning and discovery, use it as a tool for productivity, but not productivity in the same way that we used to do productivity, which is like, working in working for corporation, working for the for, in working in as a part of the oh gosh, capitalist capitalism. Yeah, working as a part of the capitalism machine. Sometimes your words don't come out smoothly, but you're just working for these big franchises and these big businesses. We got to create new businesses and a new world and new visions, and we got to step into our roles and I'm talking about the feminine divine now. Thinking about the women. The feminine divine really is just that the rise of the feminine, not necessarily as a female or woman, but the feminine spirit, what that embodies, which is the nurturing and the ideas and the vision and the not and the intuition, not so much logical, but the world is out of balance because what what people have failed to realize is that they needed to balance the intuition with the logic. Logical is the masculine divine is like logical and practical and physical, and as the builders and the implementer of ideas, whereas the feminine divine is the ideas and the vision and the details, the details that the masculine doesn't really think of, and we balance each other, and that is what creates the greatest harmony and balance. So what I wanted to tell you about this is that I put it on my desk for the first time today, and I could tell you this was a grounding thing to look at while I was doing my diamond painting. I was doing my diamond painting for most of the day. I'm almost finished this Christmas tree, and I'm very excited. I'm almost at the end of this project, and I get to start a new one. I was kind of like working on this for a couple of months. Having this on my desk grounded me in my new earth vision, grounded me in picturing the world that I could see in my head. I do not see or subscribe to the vision of the new world order vision, where it's just this rigid, controlled, scary, as far as I remember from my days learning about it in my younger days. I don't know specifically what the vision what it is now, but I just remember the feeling that came from it, and the feeling that came from it was that it was something that I was supposed to fear. And yes, even though we kind of feels like we're living in the beginning stages of that, I feel like the future is actually in flux and we get to choose. And I choose this one. I want to choose this timeline. The timeline that is our highest light, our highest self, us being our highest self. Becoming more in tune with our intuition and our creativity and our purpose, and not being a part of the capitalistic machine. Like I said, I'm sure there's a better way of saying it, but I can't think of it right now. The capitalistic machinery. We can't do social media the way the way how they are designing it for us to do, like dummies, just like doom scrolling, and we got to do it differently. If we're going to keep this technology, we got to do it differently, because it's not sustainable as it is right now. We have to have balance. We have to learn how to unplug. We have to put in our work, and then go into our real lives and go into the nature, and actually do things with other human beings and just live. So we have to have a balance between the two, and we have to heal. But like I said, looking at this all day, it was something that it always brought my mind back to the vision. So I think it's it's good to have a visual. It's good to have things that you could look at that makes you picture the world that you want to live in, you know, makes you picture the image and the visual that you need to have. So having this on my desk is fantastic because it keeps me holding that vision. And then I guess I got these two. I'm starting to build a collection of pyramids. And this is the first one that I had, you know. And again, I feel like this is for me a visual because I really haven't really learned how to tap into crystal energy or learn about crystals and all that right now. Um, but you know, at the moment, it's more about the visual and picturing what the image, what the pyramid represents. So this one for me represents that lotus energy. You know, I was holding the vision of this woman right here. I don't know where she disappeared to be honest. I don't know what's the story there because it's freaking me out, to be honest. Like, I read this book. I read a book of a woman that is the leader that we needed to bring about the new earth vision, to bring about something different. But instead we got what we got. And I honestly believe that this is a stolen destiny. You know, this is somebody whose destiny was stolen. I believe that this is somebody who was born and built and created for the role that she was about to step into, and maybe she might get to step into it sooner than later, and also someday. I don't know, man. I don't know what the future holds, but I know that this was a really missed opportunity. However, I'm going to tell you that I don't believe for 1 second, I never did, and I still don't. I don't believe for 1 second that the alternative was actually chosen. I believe that Americans did the right thing. I believe that the election itself was tampered with in more ways than one, like 1,000 cuts. You know, it has been, the energy was heading in this direction for a very, very long time. It was coming, and this is the time where it came. You know, this was the, what do you say? What's the word? This was the culmination of all the efforts that have been made by the our party to create and not create the opposite of a free and fair election, and to for the continual repetition of free and fair election was like a form of gaslighting or dishonesty, really, because it wasn't a free and fair election. That's the truth. So this here helps me to hold on to the vision of the leadership that America did deserve, you know, and the leadership, even the ones that chose differently because they were lied to, and they have been lied to for years and years and years, and they have been consuming and darkness and consuming lies for many, many years, you know, because like I said, this is a culmination of efforts that started for a long time ago, you know, efforts of, and we have, you know, it has reached the tipping point, and you know, here we are. People have achieved what they've been working towards, and I'm holding the light and I'm holding the vision for the truths to come out, and for the outcome to readjust itself. I don't know how to word it, but I don't know what the future holds, but I know that a platform built on criminality and dishonesty and what these people are doing, destruction and stealing and all that, that is not a solid platform, and that is not sustainable, and it's not a winning strategy. So they're going to lose. And when they lose, somebody is going to have to take up the mantle in leadership. And I genuinely think that it has to be this person right here. Although at the moment I don't know where this person is. I haven't heard from her, and we haven't heard from her in a long time, or maybe she's still speaking and we're just not hearing. Because for me, I'm not really like following things closely. So, but I'm holding this vision, I'm holding that light. I hope that that wasn't too long with all the words I just said. And I just got this one today. This one is a tree of life, you know. And I guess it speaks for itself. It's a tree of life. I'm going to build a collection of these little pyramids that will support a vision. When you look at it, it will support a vision of, you know, what you want to see in this world. Like a vision, you know, create a... I can't really find my words, but create a... something to ground you in a vision. You know, I can't really find my words at the moment. So the tree of life. So I guess the tree of life is just life. Is just life. You know, being alive. You know, thriving, and living your best life. And that's the vision that I'm going to attach to that one. So, you know, I just wanted to share these things with you. I also wanted to say that, you know, it's Friday and it's been a good week. And even though all these bad things are happening in the world around us, you know, we have been taken care of and provided for. We've had like financial challenges for months. And even though I could see that these people are trying to wreck the economy and destroy things, I see that for now, you know, our finances are shifting in a positive direction, at least for now. And we are starting to eliminate and pay down some payments, some monthly payments, some loans that we had. You know, the loans are going down. We're paying off things. Today I paid a whole bunch of bills, and that really, really felt good. And more money came in. And for right now, we are in a good financial place. And if the trends keep up, we will continue to be in a good financial place. And I'm going to use that opportunity to kind of like prepare to put ourselves in a better position, prepare for us to survive and get through this, because the groceries has been the most expensive thing. We stopped buying eggs because eggs is expensive. I found a recipe this week for an applesauce muffin recipe, and it actually tastes absolutely delicious, and it worked out really well. And I've decided that, you know, I'm not gonna whine and I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna focus, keep my eyes focused on what is lovely and what is pure. Hold the vision and hold the light. Count my blessings, take care of myself, live in gratitude, continue to create, continue to enjoy my life, and live in joy and live in light. I'm gonna read. You know, I'm currently reading like 2 books. I'm reading 2 books right now. I go back and forth between 2 books in my on my ebook reader. I'm reading this book called The Divine Feminine Energy. And I'm also reading this fiction called Love is Not the Answer. And Love is Not the Answer is actually a very interesting book because, let me see if I can read it where it says on the flag. A novel about America. and it's by a writer called Scott Mackey. And I started reading it a while ago, actually, but it is a fictional book about politics and spirituality, which is right up my alley. Politics and spirituality, imagine that. And you know, like it's a book about a love guru, you know, somebody who's like me, like a love energy person, even more into the woo woo, into psychedelics, and nature and love and all, focusing on beautiful things and healing for people. She's convinced to run for president, and she's running against a Democrat, and this is taking place in 2028, I believe, or yeah, somewhere down the line after Donald Trump, right? This person wrote this book before he was reelected. So this is like, yeah, this is envisioning a world where politics continues after Trump, you know. And that, like, the person that wrote it, he wrote it before everything got crazy and Trump got reelected. So, this love guru, she's running against a Democrat and a Republican. And the way how he wrote this book, he totally understands what I've learned from politics, from observing it, you know. And he has he fictionalized things that we are accustomed to. Like, they have Rox News, ROX, Rox News, and they have, and Rox News obviously aligns themselves with the Republicans, and you know trying to minimalize her, and like reframe her language, and like set her up in the view, like set her up, like deliberately misinterpreting her words, and the whole Fox News antics. And they have Lily Rift, who I figured out after a while was actually probably a representation of Taylor Swift. And the way how it captured why the actual true essence of politics, as I've observed it, is very, very fascinating. And there's so many chapters. I am to chapter 29, debate prep, and it's actually a really interesting fictional book. If you are somebody like me, it seems really specific to a specific audience. If you're somebody like me who, you're interested in politics, but you're also interested in politics with a spiritual perspective. So you're like bridging the gap between the spiritual and the political. It's a very good fictional book. It kind of even pisses me off at times when the language is so familiar when it's just so familiar and so ugly and negative, a true representation of the ugly and negative of politics. And then I'm reading this book called The Divine Feminine Energy, just trying to learn more about the whole divine, the feminine divine, the divine feminine, so I just wanted to share some stuff with you. But that is what's what. It I understand that a lot of horrible, awful stuff is going on, and I have some ideas for some videos that I want to make. I am holding the light. I'm holding the light for all of us, because I feel like that's how we win. That's how we are going to really win. We have to turn on the light and tap into our spirituality, because this is not just a battle against flesh and blood. It isn't. We are battling evil, and we're battling people, flesh and blood, but flesh and blood that is trying to destroy us. They are trying to destroy us and the planet, and it doesn't seem as though it's not about greed, or it's not about power or money. I really do think the actual goal is so much more simple than that. destroy, destroy, destroy. I do not know why. I don't need to understand why. I just know that that's what it is. Destroy, destroy, destroy. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm looking forward to recording the other I'm looking forward to recording the other video ideas that I wanted to record. I was planning to record some videos today, but now it's dark and it's nighttime and I'm hungry. And I just do not think that I'm going to get to record any more videos other than this one. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It might have been a little bit rambly, but I hope that you enjoyed it and you got some gems out of it. Peace and blessings and much love.
Oh.